The game means nothing to Giannis, but what did it prove to you that he took down the Nets?
Absolutely nothing. Means nothing to me.
Good talk.
You know why? Because it's the regular season. We all know that the Milwaukee Bucks in the regular season haven't resembled the Milwaukee Bucks in the postseason. So I don't care what they do. Now, see, and I'm glad this question has been asked because I want Coach Budenholzer, one of the great coaches in the game, Giannis, the reigning two-time league MVP, Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton. I have nothing but respect for those guys. But see how I said, Max, I don't care? And the reason I said I don't care, not to be taken out of context and ran with it, where everybody and their mother's going berserk, okay?
They're going to do that anyway.
Because what I'm saying is, it's the standard you set. If the Milwaukee Bucks hadn't been making the playoffs or hadn't been resembling something entirely different in the postseason than they looked like in the regular season, then I wouldn't say I don't care. I would take it on face value and I would judge it. But you have established the standard. You were supposed to go to the finals 2 years ago, folded 4 straight in the conference finals. You were supposed to go to the finals last year, folded against Miami Heat in 5 in the bubble. So why should I care about what you're doing 60-some-odd games into the regular season when I already know what you can do? I'm saying you've established a standard of greatness that I'm looking to see if you will match when playoff time comes. Like 94 points, 39 to 73 shooting between Giannis, Drew, and Chris Middleton. You got your big three. You can hit threes. You clearly can defend, etc. Kevin Durant doesn't have Harden, drops 42. Kevin Durant is a bigger deal to me because I'm saying Kevin Durant ain't even 100% yet, hasn't found his stride yet, and still dropping over 40 with the blink of an eye. As an aside, having said all of that, not saying it means nothing to me because I want to see Milwaukee. As an aside, Max Kellerman, did you see those Knicks? Did you see those Knicks?
Nice try. Don't change the subject.
Did you see them winning? Did you see Julius Randle? 24, 10, and 6 on 46% shooting from the field, 42% from three-point range, MVP at the Garden. How about that?
What did they prove to you? Should that have been the question?
Why? Because they ain't been there.
No, I said, what did they prove to you? Maybe that should have been the question.
Hey, that's what I'm trying to say.
Hey, that's what I'm trying to say.
That's your answer? What did the Knicks prove to you, Stephen? I'm calling an audible right now.
That they are going to the playoffs and they're going to make some.
Oh, okay. We're talking playoffs.
Way to go out on a list.
Let's get it.
I'll say this, because you brought it up,
right.
I made fun of the signing of Julius Randle, who the Lakers just let go. Teams are just letting him go. It looked like the league had passed that type of player by. I owe him an apology. Julius Randle is a top 5 MVP candidate.
Absolutely.
And I cannot remember even a single other instance in the history of the NBA of a guy drafted up high.
Doing more with less.
Looked like he was what he was after 5-6 years in the league and then doing this.
That's
unbelievable.
That's right.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely.
And it's all hard work. You could see him hitting the threes. Okay, let me get to why this is not a mere bag of shells.
Sure,
because you're doing the Ralph Cramden.
And I watched Ralph Cramden last night, so go ahead.
There you go.
Go ahead.
Mere bag of shells. You're right if you're talking about the Bucks. Bucks, show me in the playoffs. You can't show me anything in the regular season.
That's what I'm talking about, the Bucks.
I'm talking about the Nets. I'm talking about the Nets, brother. I keep trying to tell you, the most important player on that team is James Harden. No James Harden, I don't know if they're getting out of the East. That's what that showed me. By the way, you say what you want about KD. At the end of that game, a 7-foot Kevin Durant takes an unguardable step-back jumper, right?
The guy gets a block.
And what happens?
It's a block.
Because Giannis is a defensive matchup that, I mean, no one's going to stop KD, but you can't do better. You know, I mentioned Ben Simmons, Giannis. You have a dude like that on your team? What I'm saying is KD is the best player on the Nets. Yeah. If the Nets are fully healthy with the big three, no one's stopping them in the East or the West. But if they don't have James Harden good to go,
if they don't have Harden, who beats them?
I think the Bucks could beat them, and I think the Sixers would beat them. I think if they just go KD, Kyrie, it's not enough. Harden is the most important player on that team.
Well, I'm not necessarily disagreeing with that. I'm just simply saying James Harden is sitting out all of this time because they're getting him ready for the playoffs because he usually doesn't miss games, and obviously he feels like he's not 100%. What I'm saying to you is this. Whatever I see Milwaukee do, that hasn't looked like them come playoff time.
Drew Holiday?
I understand that.
Oh, and
understand that.
remember when they were struggling earlier in the season? And it's like, what's going on with Milwaukee? And what you would notice is Budenholzer was not starting the offense, wasn't having Giannis start the offense every time. They were preparing for a moment come playoff time where it's not so easy to stop the Bucks.
Okay.
Is Drew Holiday enough? We'll see. But he's a
Drew Holiday with Chris Middleton.
With Middleton, of course, who's been there. I'm saying
P.J. Tucker as a defensive player.
bringing in
right
Tucker's big, but
Absolutely.
having a backcourt player who's not scared of the big moment, who comes through under pressure, is enough to get them by a Nets team without James Harden.
I believe in Drew Holiday, and I like him a lot, but we haven't seen what you just said. We haven't seen him. I mean, they ran roughshod that year. They swept Portland. It wasn't a
We need
pressurized
James Harden
situation.
to come back. That's all I know. We need James Harden to come back, and we need the Nets to be in it, like right there behind us.
James Harden
That's
comes
what
back,
we need.
Tell me.
That's what we need.
Here we go.
That's unless the Knicks are there. I mean, if the Knicks.
Oh, Stephen A.
They're going to stop the rain.
Now that's delusional. That's delusional.
Hey. I'm allowed. Wait a minute.
You're allowed
Max
for
Kellerman,
what?
what year were you born?
73.
What's the last time the Knicks won a championship?
I was born in August. They won January of that
Wait,
year.
you're
We
trying
are
to act
allowed
like
to
I'm
be
talking about
delusional.
winning the East.
Time out. What I'm trying to say is Philadelphia, Milwaukee, and Brooklyn, clearly that's what it's about.
What are you going to pull, Tanya Harding?
What I'm saying to you is this. What if the New York Knicks knock somebody off? I'm just saying. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.